What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cover Price Top 10 show for February 16. Tonight is just me and my boy Izzy hanging out, bringing you guys the top 10 books of the week. Izzy, how's it going, bro?
It's going, man. It's going. As you already know, the news has officially dropped. I just dropped it on IG, and now we could officially say I'm going to Heroes Con.
He is. Yeah, you are, man. You have you have big things coming for Heroes Con, man. You
Yeah,
are
so pretty much what we're gonna be doing in Heroes Con is I'm gonna have a table at Heroes Con, right? The Izzyverse table, and I'll be taking commissions. So if you are going to Heroes Con this year, if you're interested, please hit me up. And you can get yourself a nice commission piece. So I'm doing it early so I can start getting that stuff flowing and stuff like that. So if anybody's interested, let me know in the chat. You could, not in this chat, but you go with IG, go into my Izzyverse NYC, and you'll see it there. So that's what's going on. And besides that, I want to say hello to everyone that is here watching, whether you're on the chat, whether you're watching the replay, because we know people have been watching the replays, man. We're killing it, man. We're killing it. And conspicuous by his absence, Travis is dead.
Yeah, he's gone. We got rid of him.
We got rid of him, and we're done. Now no, from what I heard, he became a zombie.
Yeah,
but he still has feelings
with the bleeding heart. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So we are definitely going to talk zombies tonight. He's totally fine. He's probably in a food coma tonight because he told me he was going out for supper, and I made sure. I told him. I said, you treat yourself. Make sure you treat yourself. But yeah, I'm gonna miss Travis tonight, but I'm hanging with you and the awesome chat. Lots to go through, man. This is another interesting top 10. We're gonna see some familiar stuff. But Izzy, you were just referencing, you were gonna be at Heroes Con, and you were saying that you are taking commissions. As you can see, guys, you won't.
Yep.
If you want to see Izzy, you can catch him there. What are the dates again? Just want to.
So that's a good question. It's happening the second week of June. So the dates are, I don't have the dates in front of me at the moment. What I can do is grab them, which I will be able to do it in a few minutes here. But I know someone here, if someone's watching and you know the dates, just put the dates up there for me. But it is the second week of June. Yeah, June 12th to the 14th. That's when I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. Travis is going to be there. Cliff is planning to be there. Is this guy up here going? That's the question of the day.
I think it might be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, I said Brooklyn is going to be there. We're all going to be there. We're going to have a great time at Heroes Convention. It is by far one of the best pure comic book conventions out there. Pure comic books.
Hey, man, look, it looks like some other people are going to be there.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd love to make it out and definitely going to try. But yeah, dude, you're doing commissions. I have to ask you before we kick off the show, man, you've done several. I saw you do one for Travis himself, which was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I've seen Constantine. I've seen The Crow. Is there a particular character you've yet to do that you would love to do?
The characters that are in this top 10 list, I can tell you that much.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I don't think you've done any of those yet. But man, I think if I gotta ask you to do one, let me think about it because I've got a few blanks here, like from Capcom, Mega Man, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, the video game ones are really fun too. I don't get to do those as often. Mega Man, I'm curious because Mega Man, there's so many different renditions you could try for.
Yeah.
When it comes to like someone like Mega Man, because you've seen different versions of it,
yeah.
Including that original. Remember the original cover for the box? How the artwork was very Tron-esque, like, so that's pretty interesting and stuff like that.
You're talking about the NES one, right?
Yeah, the way back when I had the very first Mega Man, so it was a fun game to play when I was a kid. So yeah, so I haven't done that. I haven't done a Sonic. Wait, I actually did do a Sonic. Now I'm thinking about it. I've done a Sonic.
Interesting. Well, we're gonna have to throw you a curveball for sure. So, guys, if you're going to Heroes Con, throw Izzy a curveball. Go get a sketch. Give him the most random character. Most random. We're gonna test him. But all right. Speaking of, testing, the aftermarket is one that, dude, I saw some of these sales, and I actually, you know what? I can't wait to even talk about this. So let's just dive right in, man. Guys,
Let's do
we're
it.
bringing you the top 10 for tonight, and of course, well, we're looking at the books that sold on the aftermarket. We're looking at units sold, percentage growth, and just how much coin people are spending on the aftermarket. Now, this list is made by you, the collectors. That's right. We're looking at all the books that sold in the aftermarket. But before we get into the top 10, let's bring you tonight's runner up. What do we got?
Our runner-up, believe it or not, is the only book on this list that we're not going to see multiple times, and that's Superman 34, the Mario FOCCILLO variant. We have a top raw sale of $50 near mint, top graded sale of $150 at 9.8. We've tracked 54 copies already, and this book just continues to stay relevant, continues to stay hot. It's very popular because of that beautiful anime artwork depicting Superman, you know, in his favorite Dragon Ball Z Kaioken. That's how you say it. You know, I'm not a Dragon Ball Z fan myself. I like my share of good manga, good anime,
Come
but I
on.
never really got into Dragon Ball Z. It just wasn't for me at the time. So
Come on.
I'm sorry, bro. It's the one thing that couldn't get past, man.
Oh my god.
I remember when it came out when I was in high school.
Uh-huh.
I do remember that. But I was so embedded into the Akiras, the Fist of the North Stars, the Ninja Scrolls.
That's fair.
Those were really good. And you know, I got a special place for the Studio Ghibli cartoons too. So
Yeah, that's fair. But Dragon Ball Z, man, that's a huge part of you know my upbringing at this point. You know what I mean? Like, dude, of all the cartoons, man, that was kind of like the intro to manga for a lot of kids. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Around in the 90s, there was that. There was, I guess, you know, Pokemon and I want to say there's some others, but I feel like that's after my time. But I would say mostly Dragon Ball Z. Now, looking at the cover, dude, I'm happy to see it's still holding because, dude, it came out. I saw this on pre-order and I was like, yeah, I got to pick this up. I said it last week. I'm gonna say it again, man. Superman 34 had so many amazing covers,
yeah,
and
I agree.
when I saw this one, man, I knew it was gonna stand out above the crowd. It was very hard. Obviously, you know, looking at that Eon one with Lois Lane, I was like, dude, I had to pick up both, and I did pick up both. I'm happy to have at least secured this one because, as you can see, $50 for near mint raw sales, 9/8 already at 150. That is amazing to see.
That is amazing. Well, I think starting with this book, and we're going to see this, I think, throughout the duration of this entire list. My personal opinion is that there's a new breed of collectors that are coming into the industry, right? There's a breed of collectors slash readers, which I'm really happy to say that they're readers too,
Yeah.
that they're being drawn in. And this is one of those books because it does have that manga flair to it, right? Because manga, let's be honest, manga has been killing it for the last few years. What's manga manga sales in comparison to American westernized comic books?
Mhm.
It you know, it's like that right now. So this one is, it's the marriage of the two. And what makes this great is that it's actually drawing people into superhero comic books the way we enjoyed it when, you know, let's be honest, with, you know, 40, 50-year-old guys ourselves and everybody else is doing that. We're still holding on to these things from our past, are nostalgic, where these kids, it's not about nostalgic. It's like, what's cool to me. They
Yeah.
like Dragon Ball Z, they like anime, they like manga. This is a good gateway to that.
Yeah.
And when we look at the other books that we talk about, you know, we're not going to talk about Absolute Batman today. Would you believe that?
That what a
It might
shock.
be a first. No absolutes on this list. I'm giving you guys a heads up.
Yeah.
But what I can say about this list in particular, I think it's those new readers that are being attracted to this, and that's why we're seeing these amazing sales happening right now. So, yeah. And to Gabe's point, we go into Barnes and Noble and you see the manga section, it's overtaking the store. So, kudos. Not to mention, you heard about a little Pokemon card?
Yeah, dude, $16 million sale for Logan Paul. And the guy's on Monday Night Raw right now getting his
And
head
he
stomped in.
did the shout out. He did the shout out though.
Yeah.
But and this is the best time to talk about it because we had the sale of Action Comics #1s featuring our boy Superman, and that was what, 13 mil. And meanwhile, a trading card from 1998
Crazy.
sold for just under 16 mil.
It's nuts, dude. It's you know what? It's a good point there, a good comparison. Two different you know, mediums here. You've got like the cards and then you've got the comics. But yeah, man, 16 million. Dude, I can't bring myself to want to spend that kind of a coin. Like I'd happily walk away for, you know, spending that coin on a Superman book, you know, action
Yeah.
comics. I'd be more than happy with that. But then again,
Mhm.
that's because we're here talking comics, and that's more of, you know, something up our alley.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the manga stuff, dude, you know, you've said it before how kind of the Absolute Universe, the Absolute Batman stuff does have the manga feel to it, the flavor. I remember when Marvel Marvel did the manga stuff. It was like early 2000s. I think it was
Yeah, I
2000.
remember.
The
I have a
manga
lot of
books.
those books too.
Same, dude. Like you can pick up those books, dude, for like they're in dollar bins. You know what I mean? Those are in dollar bins. And I gave those a shot, man, when they came out. And let me tell you, it's interesting. It's very
If
interesting.
if Marvel decided to bring the manga verse back, I think it would sell a lot better than it did then.
Yeah, yeah.
Just,
No,
just a little something there. Might be talking about some future spec books
yeah.
here.
I think it was just the way they did the characters at that time that was very different. You know what I mean? Like they they made the characters seem a little strange.
Yeah, but I think for the most part, I think they were trying something. At least they were trying. You know what I mean? And at that time, I think they didn't really get it exactly the way it should. I think if you did it today, it'll be a lot better.
Yeah.
And that's my personal opinion.
No,
Because
I agree.
I think the audience is there for it.
I agree. I
And
think
let's be honest, Marvel needs it.
yeah, I think that would be a good time, man. If they want to do anything manga related, would be fun. And as you can see, some people love seeing that because, guys, tonight's runner up is Superman issue 34. This is the Mario FOCCILLO variant, top raw sale, $50 for a near mint. Top graded sale was $150 for a 9.8. It's time we kick off the top 10, and we are kicking it off with Dork number 1. Yes, no surprise here, but this one is actually the blank variant. Now, of course, blank covers are very popular, guys, as fans seek remarks from the artists of the series, especially with such a popular series like this one. We saw 32 copies sold, and this had a 7-day growth trend of 77% with a high sale of $80 for a near mint copy. And the current raw fair market value for this is $76. Now, that's a lot of coin for a blank, let me tell you. And if anyone's seeing blanks so often, you know, it's this guy. This guy definitely has
I got a
few.
full box of blanks right there.
Not surprised, but man, I don't know if you saw, dude. So Brett Bean actually had done a sketch, and I had seen that there was a sketch sale that took place on eBay. Dude, 69 bids on that one, $2,200+ was the final sale. That was monstrous, dude. Somebody forked over 2,200 on the sketch, and this is a prime example, man, especially with the book being so hot. Somebody in the chat was just saying earlier how Brett Bean is going to be at Heroes. So there is a
I'll stop by.
yeah, there's a great opportunity, man. If you guys scooped up a blank, I would totally be wanting to get something done.
Yeah, and this is a blank that I wasn't able to grab. Unfortunately, you know, the week the book came out, I didn't really get a chance to go to my shop in time for it. And I usually go to my shop early in advance and things like that. And I just didn't get that opportunity with this one. And to be honest with you, I probably would have passed it up, not even knowing. You know, I know you hyped it up for us as well, but it was just one of those things that when it came in, no one knew what it was, and some people just grabbed them, and they were low orders. I know one of the guys that I buy from, he didn't even order copies of Dork.
Yeah.
And that says a lot, and that's why this book is so under ordered. Now, going back to the whole blank editions, a blank is usually one of the lower performing comics of a bunch.
Yep.
And to have a blank that's going for $80 is insane.
Yeah, dude, this
It's insane, man.
I don't want to say it's unheard of because we've seen
No, it's
blank.
not unheard of. It's just insane.
Yeah, no, it is. It is insane. Like we've seen, dude. There's still spawn blanks that exist that are going for way more than this.
Mhm.
So that is a thing. But you know, you're on the money when it comes to the blanks. They usually don't do so well. Now I know a lot of people do like to pick these up for these reasons of trying to get sketches or anything done at a convention, etc.
Mhm.
And you know, I'm the type of person that when I see blanks that are kind of interesting to myself, whether it be a first appearance of a certain character or an
Mhm.
issue that I might like I don't know, Amazing Spider-Man, you're immediately thinking of getting some work done on that. I'm a big fan of the Capcom ones, the Mega Mans. That's what I was
Yeah.
telling you at the kickoff of the show. So Dork, at no point did I think the blank would be getting the coin it is right now,
So
$80.
yeah, so there is a point that somebody in the chat is mentioning, and that's Timothy. And it's true. A lot of times when you get a blank cover, it is a double cover where cover A is
Mm.
inside. Be forewarned though, because what ends up happening is that they have different barcodes. And once you have the barcode, you'll know it. But I think for most people, it doesn't matter as much when it comes to these things. And it's trying to do it's kind of a bit of a scam in that way, where they're trying. So you'll probably find flippers trying to sell it as the original when it's actually the sketch cover, or the blank cover. And that be forewarned about that stuff. But at the same time, it's one of those things you want to be careful for. Me personally, I'm a blank guy because I draw them. I draw all the blanks I have.
Yeah.
Go check it out. I would love to do a sketch on this one if I ever get a chance. So if anybody brings a dork to me, man, I'll do some nice stuff with that one.
Yeah, I can't draw on a blank if my life depended on it. But after turning 35, I draw blanks pretty often. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what's going on, dude.
It's better to draw blanks than to shoot blanks.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, look, I'm not gonna get into that
I'm
part,
sorry, I've
but
been hanging out with Cliff a little too much. It's been hurting my head lately.
there you go. But we've got at number 10, dork number 1, the blank variant in a top raw sale. Well, those are going for $80 in your mint and top graded sales. None yet, but we do know for a fact that the sketches have already sold for over $2,200. And my goodness, get the heroes, get your blank, get it done, and yeah, who knows what you can get for that. 7-day trend, 77% for this one. But hang on, dorks, we got some more for you. What do we got at number 9?
We got at number 9, dork number 1, the Hornhead Corona variant. We have a top raw sale of $69, a high graded sale of $60. That's not going to last long. Number of copies tracked, 44 copies with a 72% day growth. Again, this is one of my personal favorite covers from the bunch. Jorge Corona is channeling his inner Capullo, his inner McFarlane, and it's just a cool cover. I had my chance to read Dork.
Finally.
And I got my chance to read Dork. I didn't read the Dork, and that shield is something, man. That shield is something.
Yeah, man. But so is Dork himself, dude.
A Dork walks into a bar. Next thing you know.
Yeah. All hell breaks loose, man. All hell breaks loose. You know, I've got to say, man, when I saw all the covers available on FOC, this one definitely stood out to me. I'm very much a variant type of guy, dude. Like I for some reason flock to variants. I know everybody says it, and I do follow the rule of ordering the cover A at all times, right? But there was just something about these variants, man. And when I saw the Corona one, I was like, yeah, this is a must pick up. There was the other one where he's on that unicorn, whatever. I forgot who did the cover, but another good one. So I was all for it. And as somebody said in the chat, just a bit before on FOC right now, some of your shops might still have the capacity to take your order. We've got Dork number 2 on FOC, and those two also have some great variants. One of them being the Invincible crossover, because we've got the Invincible month there that, they're doing tons of crossovers. There's the G.I. Joe one as well. Not for Dork. I'm just saying there's a G.I. Joe Invincible crossover. But yeah, man, I like those type of covers. I love the variants. But this Corona one, man, now having read this, I love it. Like, I'm so happy I picked it up, because I would have regretted this.
It's a fun read. It's definitely a fun read. It's a simple read. It's not overly complex, and it's just pure fun. It's just, wild fantasy adventure right now, where we're trying to find out a little bit about who this dork really is.
Yeah.
And the backstory about, obviously we don't have much of an origin. It's just, this is the first issue. We're learning a little bit more. We don't know much about the Shield, other than the Shield loves violence.
Yeah, dude. And the dynamic between the two is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
It's so cool.
Yeah, that's what I can't wait to see.
He's an instigator too. That Shield's an instigator, isn't he?
100%. He's like he's like the devil. He's like the devil on your shoulder type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, the main character himself could be a little evil. But yeah,
the main character, the dork himself, who by the way, we don't know his name at the moment, because his dork is not his name, but he's embracing the name. From what we know from the story so far, he doesn't want to be violent, but there's times he just feels like he has to be.
Yeah,
and he needs to defend the chicken.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, if you guys want, yes, you could also use discount code Black Crown. Don't forget.
There you
go. But yeah, man, I love this, and we're gonna continue to talk some more, of course, throughout the list. So at number 9, we've got Dork number 1. This one being the Corona variant. Top raw sale, $69 for a near mint. Top graded sale, $60. Damn, somebody got a deal there for a 9.87 day trend. 72% for this book. But check what we've got here at number 8. We've got Dork number 1. Yeah, that's right. And this one being the Ryan Brown Virgin variant. This one from SLABULOUS Comics, and it's only limited to 500 copies. Now, obviously, this one is a limited cover, and it's a very popular series. So, as you could imagine, on the aftermarket, well, people are going to be chasing this one. And boy, did they pay quite a bit for it, because we saw a 7-day growth trend of 84% with a high sale of $300 for a CGC 9.8 copy, and a current raw near mint fair market value of $126 for this. I love Ryan Brown.
Oh, Ryan G. Brown's awesome, man.
Absolutely.
He's a local for me.
Really?
Yeah, man. I see him all the time.
I didn't even know he was in your area.
Yeah, he's a local. In fact, he's going to be at King Con. That's happening first week of March. I'll be there as well. We'll be doing a couple of things. So if you want to get this, if you have this book, that's the place to get it signed, man. And Ryan G. Brown, he is such a good guy, man. You see, cool guys. He does some really cool variants. This is one of those real. This is violence right there. Look at that. But you know what? It's not far fetched for what's inside as well. This book here, I remember seeing it, and I was like, oh man, Ryan has a Virgin. Let me go check it out. And it was gone. He already has second printings already on sale. So the books are selling fast. So at this moment, your safest bet to get a Dork number 1 is probably grabbing that second printing when it comes out, if you haven't FOC'd it already. But if you want to get all these books, man, you're gonna have to pay up top dollar for these books these days, man, because the book is, I don't think anything's lower than $50 these days, man. Even that blank, man. But this one is cool, limited to 500 copies.
Yeah. No, it's very nice. And somebody in the chat actually, who is it? Here you go. The Mel Milton variant, and it was $100 off the bat. That one was actually limited to 250 copies. And just to give you an idea, yesterday I had seen that there was a sale that took place at $356 for that one as well. So just to give you guys an idea of where these books are ending up already, I would have happily spent that 100, and you could have more than tripled. You know what I mean? You could have done good. You could have done good for yourself. But hey, man, look, the exclusive game is always a risky one. That I think we've all gotten rather, familiar with that. again, no, I don't think many anticipated the immediate success of this series. And so being hesitant on an exclusive as such, it's totally understandable. Don't kick yourself too hard for that. I feel you. I feel you.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Exactly. But sometimes we're wrong, guys. And at number 8, you get Dork. Number 1, this one being the Ryan Brown Virgin variant from Slabulous Comics. This one is limited to 500 copies. Top raw sale, $150 for a near mint. Top graded sale, $300 for a 9.87-day trend of 84%. Now we get to have some fun with a different kind of book. Izzy, what do we got at number 7?
Well, we're moving away from the dorks and we're going into zombie land. So Bleeding Heart's number 1, the STIPAN MORIAN foil variant. This is the foil variant. So it's not the cover A, even though this is the same cover as cover A. Comes in at number 7. This book has a high raw sale of $20 near mint, high graded sale of $60 and a 9.8. We track 27 copies with a 7-day growth of 122%. This is a new series by the returning DC Vertigo, which makes me so happy to say. Vertigo is back, baby, and it's back with a really cool book by Dennis Camp and STIPAN MORIAN. I had a chance to read this book as well. It's zombies with feelings.
Yeah, apparently. Well, so now we're in a post-apocalyptic world, and I'm going to be honest, I had to go back and read this, right? Post-apocalyptic, we're 10 years after the fact that zombies have now taken over Earth. You know what I mean? They have their own life now. They've got their own language. They're communicating with each other, and they're zombies that have taken over. But the main character, well, his heart started beating again, and that's not supposed to happen. So what looked like food to him, being humans, now he has no interest in, and things start to take a turn for this character throughout the first issue. Now I had to go back and read it because I like I said, man, either I'm, blanking a little too often or whatever. Last night I was on my show and we were talking about FOC, and Bleeding Hearts issue number 2 had a version of the a cover of the character, and the description of the name was like mouse pushing a ball through hole in head or something like that. And I'm like,
yeah,
man, I remember reading this, but I didn't think this was actually their names. And these are the names that they're giving each other. It was basically based on how they died. And this character's name, I believe, is Poke.
Poke.
Poke a ball through the head or whatever. I don't remember what it was. and I was like, okay, well, I don't think this is really their names. Like, this must have been some kind of like something I missed within the first issue. But no, that is exactly the names. And it's, you know what? It's a fun read. I'm like you said, Izzy, I too, man, am so happy that DC Vertigo is back, man. Because with DC Vertigo, things tend to get a little wild. And this week we actually have another book that's coming out, End of Life. That one comes out, another DC Vertigo book, which, I mean, so far with this being the first book, it's I gotta say it. This one's a success. You see already how people are embracing this on the aftermarket, and it was inevitable.
You look at the artwork. STIPAN MORIAN, I haven't really seen much of his work beforehand, but he has like a bit of a Kyle Baker style to his art style. This cover alone is a great, beautiful cover. It's not a zombie story in the same way that we know zombie stories to be. It's very different. In this story, the zombies are part of a community now. So it's a community of zombies. And, his best friend happens to be Mush, who happens to grow mushrooms. And that's telling in the story. And even in this cover, the cover itself has a bit of a spoiler, because as you read the story, you start realizing something's going to go down. Yeah. And to be honest, it's quite predictable in that way. But at the same time, it's worth checking it out. The first issue's out. Get a chance to read it. If you like it, great. If you don't, then you move on like anything else. Same thing with a book like Dork and things like that. This book, however, as you can see here, DC Vertigo's back. It's another popular writer. Dennis Camp is doing the writing here. There's, we're going through this little renaissance of, dare I say, indie darlings taking over. Because that's what this looks like to me. Because let's be honest, DC Vertigo is the closest thing to to an indie company as you could think of when it's even though it's under the DC banner.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You know, when this was announced, within our little group chat, myself and Gabe, we were talking about this, man, and it was immediate where we both felt like, yeah, this is gonna take off, man. It seems like what the story is based on is gonna be a fun time. I know a lot of people are kind of like over the zombie stuff, but it's a very interesting change, twist, something different within something we're very familiar with, right? Like obviously, almost every book we've read before
Yeah,
within the last couple of years.
it's not like a typical it's not a zombie story. It
It
doesn't
is.
read like a zombie. They are zombies because that's just what it is, but it's not like a zombie. It's not like your traditional zombie. There's nothing like that.
No, exactly. It's a nice little twist, which it has me hooked in, and I'm excited to see where the story is gonna go. And as you could see, some people on the aftermarket, well, they may have missed out on a copy and now paying a little more because at number 7, we've got Bleeding Hearts, number 1. This one being the STIPAN Morian foil variant, top raw sale, $20 for near mint, top graded sale, $60 for a 9.8, and we've got ourselves a 7-day trend of 122%. Now, guys, it's time we just dive right back into Dork because at number 6, we've got Dork number 1. This one being the Ryan Otley variant, the 1 in 25. And those numbers ain't no lie, guys. Jeez, I can't believe it. But this
I'm
is,
gonna buy a graded copy.
yeah, this is the second. Yeah, well, especially at that price. But this is actually the second highest retailer incentive cover for the series. Also, it's got to be one of the goriest between the two. But we tracked 23 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 82% with a high sale of $350 for a near mint copy and a current run near mint fair market value of 335. So just to give you an idea, it's still holding at around that coin there. So the graded sale now, of course, at $100. Well, I imagine that is going to change very soon. It's only going to be a matter of time once we start seeing some 9/8s come in, or maybe someone's going to pre-sale and probably go for way more on that. But the 1 in 25 is just amazing, man. I love Ryan Otley's cover for this. The wraparound is awesome. If you open it up, there's a little somebody else that's there. You know what I mean? A little somebody else.
Yeah, so the greatest sale of $100, that's just an outlier from last week. So there hasn't been a 9.8 sale as of yet. So therefore, that's why it's the top graded sale at the moment. Trust me, you're not going to find this book at a 9.8 for $100 anymore.
No.
And if you do, then you've hit the jackpot when it comes to this book here. The $350 is the price for the raw. So I'm assuming that the graded copies are probably going to be going for maybe even $450 or even more at this point. The reason why 1 in 25s are so expensive, and we're going to get to the next one too, is literally because a lot of shops did not order many copies.
Nope.
Some shops didn't order copies at all.
Nope.
And that's the situation here. So for a shop to get at least 25 copies to get this one, it wasn't happening.
No.
So I could only imagine how rare this book is, and the other one that we're going to go over soon. Who's to say what's the final number? So yeah. I would love to just know what's the total count of sales as per stores of this book, because I'm curious to know what these incentives are really going to be worth.
Yeah, no, you're spot on, dude. I'd love to know as well. But one thing I could tell you is that even factoring the hype, like I saw Gabe in the chat was saying earlier how the second print now for the Dork number 1 is already going for a good coin. It's well above the regular cover price, and we had the opportunity to pre-order that on FOC, but lo and behold, on the aftermarket, it's hovering already around like the $25-$30 mark, if I'm not mistaken. Now, that is a prime example, and that particular second printing where Image posted that it just got really close to 25,000 copies on the pre-orders. So that alone gives you an idea, even with the hype surrounding this book, still the second print didn't see high numbers as we thought it would.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. And again, like I said, who's to say how many books actually sold of this? How many stores got? Because again, you have to get 25 in order to get this one.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
that's interesting.
you got Thor Warrior God saying that he collects Otley covers, so he, obviously convinced the shop to order 25 copies and got himself that 1 in 25 for super cheap, nice and early. But
I bet you the shop is happy too. Let's be
yeah,
honest.
no, for sure, man. I'd be happy to hold those cover A's. But Jeremy in the chat saying he sold his for 325 on this one with the 1 in 25. So again, like I was telling you guys, 350 sounds high, but it's maintaining so far and holding at that point. And as you can see, people definitely want to pick this up because at number 6 we got Dork number 1, the Ryan Otley variant 1 in 25 ratio, top raw sale $350 for near mint, top graded sale $100 for a 9.8 and a 7-day trend of 82%. We spoke this ratio. Let's talk about the other one, Izzy.
So the more rare book is Dork number 1, the Ryan Stegman variant. This is the 1 in 50. It comes in at number 5. We have a top raw sale of $500 near mint. The top high grade sale, believe it or not, it's the exact same price of $500 as well. However, we only tracked 9 copies with a growth of 78%. Granted, like I said, we tracked 9 copies. That means this book is ultra rare. I don't know how rare it's going to be when it's all said and done and when the smoke clears, but this book has the potential of being a 4-figure book if this series continues to be hot. That's the important thing to notice about these sales is that, it's extremely hot at this moment, but you got to buyer beware, as they say. You don't know what this has a lot of high risk, but it could be a high reward situation. And I will say, reading the story and the story of this chicken specifically is very interesting.
Yeah. Dude, like I said last week after reading the issue, man, because when I had seen this, while I was checking out catalogs, etc., and I saw this 1 in 50, I was like, what is going on? What's this chicken head on this character? You know what I mean? I didn't know
Literally a
anything.
chicken head. I love it.
And lo and behold, man, when you read this issue and you get to those, the back end of the story, oh my God, things get wild. And yeah, man, I'm not going to spoil it because somebody asked very politely for us to not spoil the story because their copy is still in the mail. So I'm feeling nice tonight. I won't spoil it, but man, it is it's so funny what ends up happening here. And the exchange, man, the nuggets. There's good moments within this issue and with this particular chicken here that you're seeing. And now having read it, I'm kind of sad I didn't ask my shop to try to go for that 1 in 50. You know what I mean? Because it is so good. And Stegman is, guys, it's Stegman. What do I need to say anything about Stegman? I love Stegman, man. His covers are always great. And this one is just so fitting for the story. So yeah, man, kudos to the team for this one. I wish it was available as a regular variant.
I know it's a good variant. It really is.
It's awesome.
It just strikes me because again, I'm looking at these prices and I'm just like, this is gonna be a 4-figure book. It's gotta be. It's gonna eventually become a 4-figure book as it is.
Yeah.
And it's just how many copies actually exist of this book. That's my curiosity.
Jeremy, don't look at it as money left on the table. Look at it as you made the coin on this already, man. So congratulations to you.
Yeah, buyer's remorse. Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah.
Or seller's remorse is more like it in this case.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. There's highs and lows to everything. We know that the price of this book will eventually drop. We just don't know when it's gonna be.
Yeah, I have so much more things I want to say about this book, and we'll obviously talk about it because we have more opportunity to do so. But at number 5, guys, we've got Dork number 1. This one being the Ryan Stegman variant, 1 in 50, top raw sale, $500 for a near mint, top graded sale, $500 for 9.8, 7-day trend of 78%. We're at the halfway mark, guys, so please hit the like button. If you're catching the replay, we see ya. Comment below, man, and we love having conversations with you. And if you're new to the channel, well, subscribe, man. We hope to see you back tomorrow night. All right, it is time to get to number 4. And of course, we've got Dork once again. This one being the Gonzo variant from Prestos Comics Shop Limited. to 500 copies. Now, of course, this one is falling into the same category as the other exclusive we talked about with Ryan Brown. It is a hot series, guys, and this one is a limited online exclusive. So it's only normal to be seeing such prices. Now we tracked 11 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 132% with a high sale of $130 for a near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $119. Gonzo, dude, we said it last week. I'll say it again. Gonzo, these types of covers that Gonzo does, man, I love them. I love them. They're just, dude, if you see my house, like when I went to Mexico, dude, I went crazy on those, like, what are they called there? The sugar skulls or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I call them Day of the Dead skulls. That's what I call them.
Oh man, I went crazy on buying tons of stuff, whether it be candles or whatever it may be, man. I love the style for this. Gonzo did so much great work with the turtle stuff. Like I can go on forever. And seeing this one, man, the Prestos comic shop. I actually saw Prestos very active on social media, on Instagram, and you know, they're taking a victory lap right now, as they should, because this is awesome, man. And I couldn't be happier for them, because 500 copies, as you can see, they flew, man, and people.
And it's an amazing cover. Like, this is one of the most beautiful covers. Like, you could display this. This is like a display cover, you know. $130. That price cannot stay like that. Yeah. It's not going to stay like that. And you'll see soon enough it's gonna go up. But you know, kudos for Gonzo. Again, gotta give love to Brett Breen for the immense success of this book. As we said, we talk about this before the shows. Like, what are we going to talk about? We got to talk about how great this artwork is, and the storytelling. And congratulations for Prestos for getting a really cool cover out there. Jay Gonzo is just a great artist who's out there. It's someone that you should definitely pick up more things. And yeah, he's done so many good stuff, man. So good stuff there.
Yeah, again, I'm gonna bring up Jeremy again, saying he got lucky with this one, pre-ordered a bunch, and it usually doesn't work out like that. And that's what I was saying earlier, man. The exclusive game is one that, like, I've stayed away from since the pandemic. Like, a lot of things were exclusive heavy because we weren't getting new comics, right? And those took a lot of, you know, they got a lot of traction on the aftermarket, and was seeing exclusives popping galore. But I've always been, you know,
cautious. You have to be cautious. You have to be cautious. It's very challenging, especially when something comes out that's really hot at first, and then it's just like it cools down. For me, it's always like if I get like something, you know, like Prestos or some big time collectible or 616.
Yeah,
I'm getting it because I like the cover.
For sure.
That's what I'm getting it. So I don't really go based off of the fact that it's limited to like 500 copies. I go based on the fact that, is this a good artist? Is this someone I like? Is it a book that I'm willing to have? Like, for a very long time, I was a big fan of the logo covers. You know, remember the logo covers when they first debuted? I got a whole bunch of those, and I love them. And, you know, now it's cooled off a little bit and things like that. But still, the logo covers are just great just to put them on display and things like that. You know what I mean?
Bro, I am, like I said, man, you see, I had PTSD from COVID time exclusives, man. I'm very picky. And like I said, like, now if I'm going to pick one up, it's because I really like the cover. It means something to me, and it's staying in my collection. And that's it. I don't even bother to take a gamble with anything for, you know, the aftermarket flip value or anything when it comes to exclusives. But let me tell you, man, you could even ask Laura, because Bird City Comics puts out some great stuff. And like, when they've got a book, man, they had a Knuckles Delaro, and I'm like, I need this. How do I get this? And that's when I get aggressive. That's when I get aggressive.
Well, that's what I make it a habit not to show up in like Whatnot or eBay Live, because I know if I don't have the money for it, I'm not going to go ahead and just watch, because I know myself. I'm going to get to that point where that FOMO is going to really kick it to high gear, and it becomes a challenge. And in places like Whatnot and eBay, then you get the fever of fighting it off. You know what I mean? Like, I want this so book, so you pay even more than you're supposed to for it. And that, you know, If you see some of the whatnot sales for these dork books, it's crazier than what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong, man. But this Gonzo variant, Gay brought it up. This is a tattoo waiting to happen, man.
Oh
And
yeah, they're all tattoos waiting to happen, man. Well, let's be honest with you.
exactly. Number 4, guys, we got Dork number 1, the J Gonzo variant, Presto's Comic Shop, limited to 500 copies. Top raw sale, $130 for a near mint plus. Top graded sale, none so far, but we shall see. 7-day trend of 132% is what do we got at number 3?
I am so happy because this is the one I picked up, and that's at number 3, Bleeding Hearts number 1, the Chris BACHALO cover. We have a top raw sale of $25 near mint. We don't really have any track graded copies at the moment until I send my book to CGC. The number of copies we tracked is 28 copies. This is the first book again from DC Vertigo line, The Return. We have a 7-day trend of 331%. I love Chris BACHALO's artwork, and this is his artwork at peak gold. You know what I mean? Yeah. We have this really cool character of Poke holding his heart, man, because again, zombies are back, baby.
Yeah, man.
Such a cool cover, man. Just in time for Valentine's Day, too, you know, right during the Valentine's season.
Yep.
They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
Possibly, but man, BACHALO killed this cover, dude. It is awesome. Right color choice as well, man. Like the black and purple, just like
look at that, baby. It's right there.
Yeah, it totally works. And yeah, when you see it in person, it's probably way more stunning. But back to the read, man, like I was saying earlier, with DC Vertigo now back, a lot of people were super excited. I was obviously one of those people. And as I said earlier, we've got End of Life that's coming out this week. It was an awesome read, man, and I'm on board with Bleeding Hearts right now. Like the first issue was actually very interesting, man, and I love seeing the love that this is getting now. Kind of inevitable. It was bound to happen, dude. Like just seeing this on FOC, I was like, yo, you're telling me this is going to be the first DC Vertigo coming back, and you got like a stellar group of people working on this, man. Like, yeah.
Oh, you should see, man. So I was able to go to the New York Comic Con when they made the announcement. So they were mostly all the creative teams were at New York Comic Con. Some of them weren't, but Bleeding Hearts was one of the books that they talked about. The book End of Line is another one that they talked about. The Return of 100 Bullets, Brian Azzarello's bringing that book back. And it's just so cool seeing Vertigo back because Vertigo is special, man. And I love the fact that they get Chris BACHALO because he's also part of that Vertigo family from his time of doing Sandman as well as Death, the High Cost of Living. So it just makes sense to have him in here. Yeah. And you got to give love to Dennis Camp, because Dennis Camp is having an amazing year. It is February 2026, and already he has not only Bleeding Hearts, he has Assorted Crisis Events, he has Absolute Martian Manhunter, and for some weird reason, you got Ultimate Endgame. But besides that one, I'm not hearing much about Ultimate Endgame. I'm sorry, guys. This has been his year. So kudos to Dennis Camp.
No, absolutely. But hang tight, because we also have the ending of Ultimate Spider-Man dropping this week, issue 24. I know it's not Dennis Camp, it's obviously Hickman, but still, I'm excited for that. DC Vertigo.
That should be a big one.
Yeah, DC Vertigo back in obviously full swing here with this first issue. And like I said, we've got End of Life coming out this week. But don't forget, there's DC Next Level also coming very soon, which I'm really excited for. So can't wait for that. Before we take it to the next one, shout out to Brian McClay, guys. Don't forget, Brian McClay is going to be going live very soon, man. So go show him some love as well immediately after the show. But guys, for now, number 3, we've got Bleeding Hearts. Number 1, the Chris BACHALO. Top raw sale, $25 near mint. No graded sales yet. Izzy says he's sending his. We shall see. 7-day trend of 331%. But we continue to let our hearts bleed, guys, at number 2 with Bleeding Hearts number 1. This one being the Nick Dragotta variant, a very popular name in the last couple of months, more than a year to say.
Top the one time we don't talk about any absolute books, and what do we get? We get the absolute artist.
Literally. So I guess we get a little bit of absolute. But yeah, man, top raw sale $20 for this one, and in your mid top graded sale $60 and in the 9.8. You know, DC Vertigo coming back. Obviously, it's a mega hit right now with this one. Everyone's saying how this is pretty much, this week's version of Dork, right? Dork exploded, but this one's not hitting the numbers yet. Will it do any higher? We shall see. But this one was, selling out on the first day, man. And this variant features everyone's favorite artist from Absolute Batman, of course, Nick Dragotta. Now, with this, we tracked 130 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 271%, with a high sale of $60 for a CGC 9.8 copy already, and a current raw near mint fair market value of $18. You remember what I was saying just before when it comes to the story and how, this character's heart is now coming back to life after 10 years of the zombies having taken fully over the world. And you could see he's just walking right into that, walking away from all the madness, doesn't even care what is going on.
Yeah, there's something to be said about this character. What's going on with this character? What's his story? People are talking about the big arm. There is a reason for it, and when you find out what the reason is, it's kind of endearing when you really think about it, because it has something to do with him and his friend. It is very. I'm curious to see where this story is going to take us, right? With Bleeding Hearts, I don't know how many issues it's scheduled for. I don't know if it's a limited series or it's ongoing or anything like that. If it goes through the same traditional Vertigo, then it's an extended limited series, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Which I hope that's the case. So I hope there's a story to be told. I hope there is numerous stories to be told. And I look forward to it with this character and seeing his journey of, I guess, becoming human, because that's what it's starting to sound like he's going to be.
It's funny, man, because when this hit FOC, the second I just saw Nick Dragotta, I'm like, yep, pre-order. It was inevitable. Obviously, people now very much loving Nick Dragotta stuff, through Absolute Batman. Not that Nick Dragotta wasn't known prior, but I mean, like, you can't deny that the Absolute Batman took him to another
level. It took him to the next level.
Exactly.
Made him superstar quality.
Absolutely, man. And with that, when you see such a cover and this is going to be a #1, and you got Dennis Camp, you got all these people on it. I told you I'm a variant guy. Obviously, I'm going to lock down the cover A's, but man, this was another variant that I couldn't pass on. It was this one, the BACHALO. So good. They're just so good.
And let's be honest, of all the stories, this is the one that's telling the story the most.
Yeah.
Of what's going on. So if you just look at this cover, you could tell, wait a minute, why is he not chasing the girl?
Yeah.
Think about that. And then he has a flower in his head.
He does. But yeah, man, I'm happy to have gotten these, and I can't help but, I can't stress it enough. You guys definitely just pick it up, give it a read, man. I'd love to know what you guys think of it, especially if you're catching the replay. But guys, at #2 this week, we've got Bleeding Hearts #1, the Nick Dragotta variant. Top raw sale $20 for near mint. Top graded sale $60 for 9.8. 7-day trend of 271%. There's 150 people here watching live with us. Just want to say thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Love you guys. We're about to dive into #1, and I've got quite a bit to say about this. Izzy, what do we got at
#1? As if you were going to be surprised, Dork is back. This is Dork #1. This is cover A by Brett Bean. We have a high raw sale of $126. Top graded sale at $300. 7-day trend is going to be 102%. We tracked, believe it or not, 280 copies of this series. Now, I'm going to tell you, I mentioned a little bit about Whatnot earlier. I saw this book go for sale on Whatnot for $275.
Yep.
So be on the lookout, but shop wisely if you really want this book. I think that's that situation when you get into a little bit of a bidding war with somebody, that you get to this point that you absolutely want something. Trust me when I say the book is good, but just be cautious when you do those sales. Yep. I'm telling you, man, be very cautious when you purchase a book like this, because again, it is new. It has a lot of hype behind it. You want to see if it cools off a little bit. And it's right now it's at its hottest point. We don't know how long it's going to stay hot. It is a number one. It is the first book. So this book is probably never going to go down to $50 anyway. Frankly, if the story continues to be hot, then this book could be potential for being one of the big books of the year.
Absolutely. I think, we're only in the month of February in 2026. This might be one of the books we talk about at the end of year saying,
Yeah.
wow, what a year we had for Dork. Obviously, issue number one. We'll see how the other issues do throughout time. But there's a few things I want to say about this, man. And immediately when I saw this on FOC, I've said it out the gate. I was campaigning this book, telling people, man, this is one you definitely want to not pass on it. You're gonna kick yourself if you do. It reminded me a lot of Kanto, and I said this last week. You've heard me say this back when it was available for pre-order on FOC on my show. I was talking about it, and when it comes to the book, man, one thing is, for certain, clearly people are loving it, and like I said, my feeds was filled with it. Gabe himself, who is someone I have never seen Gabe so into such a book, so excited, and it is so awesome to see. I love seeing Gabe this excited for such a title, and not just Gabe, just lots of people on social media, man. There are a lot of kids, coming into the hobby, as Izzy was even saying earlier in the show, whether it be via the absolute stuff, whether it be whatever title that is bringing a lot of younger crowd into the comics right now, the comic space. I go on social media, man, and I'm seeing a lot of these younger kids that are so good with social media influencers, if you want to call them whatever you want. They're giving full reviews on books, man, and people are really buying into the reads nowadays, man. Things have shifted. And this is something I talk about a lot, how the MCU spec is no longer something that is holding weight anymore when it comes to, comic books. Yes, sure, it does do some, buzz, etc., but it's never something that we see do numbers as such. I'm so tired of hearing people say that new comics are dead. It is the complete opposite. It is the complete opposite, and we see it time and time again, whether it be with the absolute stuff, whether it be with Dork, whether it be with Bleeding Hearts, and we can go on forever. Within the last year plus, that's not been the case. Now, one thing I do want to highlight is seeing people talking about how this book might be due to market manipulation. I'm going to put it straight out there, guys. If you paid attention, like I said, I just mentioned the second printing getting only less than 25,000 copies on pre-order. Supply and demand comes into it. FOMO comes into it. People want this. Not a lot of people have the opportunity to pre-order. Some shops, believe it or not, don't have online platforms that allow us to pre-order or even take proper pre-orders. Like they'll use an old school computer and totally mess up your order. You know what I mean? And, or maybe a book pops and they tell you, hey, we got shorted. There's many possibilities, but one thing's for certain is that Dork went under the radar. That's really what happened with this one. Not many copies totally ordered, and the buzz seems to be huge right now. So I don't believe in any market manipulation. Sure, people are taking advantage right now, making that coin, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think total opposite of manipulation. I think this is a big mix of people loving the book. It went under the radar, and FOMO has kicked in. That is exactly what happened with this one. And Brett Bean deserves all the flowers we can give him, because with issue one, I think he's got a masterpiece right here. I can't wait to read issue two.
Good, talented people will outperform any market manipulation, right? So what I'm saying is, guys like Brett Bean, guys like Mark Spears, right? Guys like Nick Dragotta, right? Dennis Camp, good people doing good work, and people are starting to watch it and starting to read it, starting to pick it up. Do I believe there's FOMO involved? Absolutely. FOMO is absolutely involved here, because people are hearing things. There's a word of mouth that goes from it. And what ends up happening from word of mouth is the storm comes in, and then you have the influencers, like ourselves, which we have to be, we're part of that group. that will tell you, hey, this is good, this is worth reading. Now there are some people that, you know, they have something in the game, which is obvious in some cases, but at the same time, you still have to be wise about your decision making abilities, right? You have to be able to say, you know what, can I hold out for it, or do I just want to read? Like for me, I had a chance to read it digitally.
Yeah.
I don't have a copy on hand, but I did had a chance to read it on a digital level, and I liked it. When the second printing comes out, I'll pick it up. If the price drops for this book at a price that I feel is relatively reasonable for me, I'll buy it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm also am not going to lose my mind to buy it. You get what I'm saying? I was able to pick up Bleeding Hearts. I was able to pick up Absolute Batman when it first came out. And that's the case. Am I able to get all the books? No, I'm still trying to get my first Simbi. So, you know, it happens.
Oh.
So
shame on you.
All right, that part. So the reality of it is be a wise consumer. You come to these shows, you watch these shows because you're interested to know what's the top 10. You're interested to know what's coming out. You're interested in what to know what's all the buzz about. Yes, that is important. But at the same time, you're still the one making that final decision. It's your money that you're spending.
Yeah.
And spend it wisely. Don't break the bank for certain things if you can't do it. So don't do it.
Yeah. But besides that, man, I'm really happy to see where this book is at. Sure, we shall see where it stands with the test of time. Kanto did some numbers as well, and then it's come, you know, way down compared to where it once was. And I have compared this to Kanto. Did I expect the immediate rise that this book got? Absolutely not. Did I expect some rise? Yes, throughout time. But this fast, this powerful on the aftermarket? Absolutely not, but I am so here for it because at number 1, guys, we've got Dork number 1, top raw sale for that regular Brett Bean cover, $126 for a near mint plus copy, and top graded sale, $300 for a 9.87 day trend of 102%. I can't wait to see what those signed copies are going to look like with remarks and whatever. Heroes Con, he's going to be a Mega Con, he's going to be
I can't wait for him to call me a butthead.
You are a butthead. You walked right by him. Right by him. The reel was
I'm going to come up to him at Heroes Con, and I'm going to tell him, congratulations. Now, where's my copy?
Yeah, you do that. But you got to walk up to him like butthead, though. You know what I mean?
It's me, butthead. Oh, wait, that's Beavis. I'm more of again, I said it before, I'm more of a Beavis guy than the butthead.
Yeah. But you just finished saying that you're gonna walk up to him where at Heroes Con. Plug it away.
We're gonna be at Heroes Con, guys. So again, it's happening in June. I'm gonna be at Heroes Con. Travis is gonna be at Heroes Con. Let's get Lando at Heroes Con, guys. We gotta get Lando. We gotta get the top 10 boys together, and everybody else. We're gonna have fun there. It's gonna be a great time. I will be taking commissions because I will be tabling at the show. Try to see if we get some more swag. I'll have some giveaways, and we might even do some kind of a scavenger hunt. You know that?
Yeah, that would be awesome, dude. You know what?
To a couple of people about doing the scavenger hunt, so that's gonna be fun.
I will definitely try to get there. It's June 12th to the 14th. So yeah, the top 10 guys for sure. But I would love to see the whole Cover Price crew come together, man. I think that would be fun, man. If Gabe could make it out, Laura or whoever, man, it would be awesome. Marty, Chris, you name it. Obviously, Travis, you said is gonna be there, so that's gonna be a great time. Guys, before we go, I actually want to let you guys know something. Over on my channel, Black Crown Comics, I actually just surpassed 1,000 subscribers, and I'm doing a huge giveaway show this upcoming Sunday. So if you are not already subscribed, I suggest you do so because you're going to have an opportunity to win. I want to give to my subscribers. If you're just a passerby and you're not subscribed, I ain't giving you the giveaway. I want to make sure the homies, the family, the familia goes home.
You might have a dork number 1.
Maybe. We shall see. We shall see. But besides that,
I don't know, guys. I really don't know.
You never know. You never know, dude. But tomorrow night, guys, don't forget the new Comic Book Day show. Myself, Gabe, and Jeb are going to be here to talk about the books that are dropping this week. We already spoke a little bit about some of the books just tonight. And then, of course, On Wednesday, we've got Matt and John, who are apparently going to be talking something Comics Pro. I have no idea what they're talking about, so I want to see what that's
covered
going to
some
be about.
comic.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see what that's about. I have no idea. They don't share anything with us. They're just like, yeah, that's the show Wednesday. Cool. Okay, cool.
I think they're trying to figure it out sometimes.
Yeah. And then on Thursday, of course, we've got the entire Shakers crew. You're going to have Marty. You're going to have Chris. You're going to have Gabe. You're going to have Laura, bringing you the Shakers of the week. And I can't wait to tune into that one as well. It's always a good time. So, guys, that was the top 10 show from myself and Izzy. We want to wish you all a good night. If you're catching the replay, comment below. Show some love. We love you. Peace out. Adios.
Later.